guys, this is Sandra here, and as you can see we're in my bed again, which can only mean one thing. This is more of a chatty video again, and today we're gonna talk about my favorite brushes. And when I was trying to figure out which brushes to talk about, obviously I have all my favorites, but I was also consciously making the decision. Obviously I have all my favorites, but when I was choosing these brushes I was also consciously making the decision. Oh, that's hard to say. All my choices will be cruelty free. As you might know, I'm trying to get rid of each product in my collection that isn't cruelty free, and I like to promote products and items that are, as I think that in this age there really is no need for testing on animals. So without further ado, let's talk about the brushes. When I was choosing my brushes, I divided them into two categories. I have one which is face brushes, and then I have another one which is for eyes. Let's start with the ones that are for complexion. For foundation application, I have two brushes that I really like. One of them is the Real Techniques Instapop cheek brush, which is this pink one, and the other one is from Real Techniques as well, but this is the Expert face brush. And as you can see, there are two quite different shapes. One of them is more of an angled one. I really like this for a bit more of a liquidy foundation. It's perfect for applying it. It's also really nice if you don't want a separate brush for your concealer. It just fits really nicely under the eyes. Also, it's perfect for buffing out like a cream contour or a cream bronzer. For a cream blush, I like something a bit different. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But this is perfect for foundation, concealer or cream bronzer or contour just because of the shape of it. It's perfect to get into those bits of the cheek. And then for the foundation, I really like this one. It's just a typical buffing brush really. There's nothing, you know, that special about it. It's a standard buffing brush. It's perfect for buffing the foundation into your cheeks. Now you can still use it for your concealer. It's just a bit harder to get in with it under the eyes as it's a bit more thick on the top. If you really want to, you can. I would say this is better with thicker type of foundations, like a medium to full coverage. Those tend to be a bit on the thicker side when it comes to the formula. With liquidy ones it's still nice, but I think when you work with liquid foundations it's a lot easier to either use a beauty sponge or just, you know, even your fingers to be honest. But if you don't want to get messy, just either use a beauty blender or just a brush that's a bit less dense, something like this. They just work with the product better. As I mentioned earlier, I have a different favorite for cream blushes or even cream highlights, but mainly for cream brushes. I like this one. It's still from Real Techniques. It's their Duo Fiber Contour Brush. Now I would never think of using it for contour. It's quite bendy, but at the same time for a cream blush it's perfect. It doesn't take up too much product just because it's a smaller brush to start with, and I have quite small cheeks or quite a small head to start with, so this is perfect just to really buff that product right on the apples of my cheeks and then blend it a bit more further back. And it's perfect for a cream highlight as well, or a liquid highlight, because again it doesn't take up too much product, so I'm not gonna end up with a big dollop of, you know, shine on my cheek. This is perfect for blending it out. Also, these brushes clean so easily, and I had this one for years. Just in general, Real Techniques is a really good option for brushes. The only brushes I'm not a fan of from them is the eyeshadow brushes. Those I don't like that much, but anything for the complexion, they are amazing, and this brush is no exception. While we are talking about Real Techniques, I have two more brushes from them, and this is a bit confusing because they're both called 302, but they are slightly different. They are both blush brushes. I will show you a bit of a close-up. So you can see this one is a bit more thick, this is a bit thinner, but they are both amazing for powder blushes. I don't really use them for bronzers, only for blushes. With this one, the one that's a bit more flat, I like to pick up something that's a bit more loosely packed, just the tiniest of tap and then blend it on my cheeks. Also, to be fair, this one is perfect if you just want to set your under eyes or even a bit of contouring, just because of the shape of it. It's a bit more flat, so this one is actually perfect for that as well, but I just mainly use it for blush. And then this one, because it's a bit more densely packed as well. Well, not necessarily more densely packed, actually this one is a bit more firm, but this is a bit more fluffy. So this one I really like to use for blushes that are really firmly pressed, because I can really dig in the pan with this and then just blend it out on my cheeks. So this is perfect for that. I especially love this with all my Benefit blushes, because I always find that it's a bit harder to pick up pigment of those blushes. At least, well, mine are getting maybe a bit old, that's why, I don't know. But this I love using with my Benefit blushes, and it's perfect for that. But again, they're both called 302, so I don't really know what that's about. They don't quite seem the same. Like if I put them right next to each other, you will see. They are not exactly the same. They're really similar, but they're slightly different. Now I don't know, it might be because this one actually has like a proper, oh, what that is bit called? Funnel? No. I don't know, but this one actually has like a proper metal bit down there, whereas this one just goes into this plastic. So maybe that's why this is a bit more tight at the bottom, I don't know. Also, I think they were both limited editions. This one is the glittery one, and then this one is just more shiny. I guess it's a foil over it, because in a couple of places it's a bit used already on mine. But yeah, if you find one that's called 302, snap it up. It's perfect for blush. Now I'm done with real techniques, don't worry. My last two face brushes are from different brands. So let's start with the Becca one. This is their angled highlighter brush, and this is one of my all-time favorite brushes. Now this one only came in my life about half a year ago, but this slowly, well actually not slowly, this rapidly became one of my favorite brushes. It's perfect actually for liquid foundation, even though it's a synthetic hair brush, but it's really soft. It's perfect for liquid foundation, so it works really well with their Aqualuminous foundation, but it's also perfect for contouring, bronzing, blushing. I even love using it with a highlighter. I am in love with this brush. It's perfect because it's not too fluffy. Like sometimes with these slanted contour brushes, they get a bit too fluffy, and again, as I mentioned, I have quite a small cheek. So for me to get in here, some of them are a bit too big and I can't really be precise enough, but this one is just brilliant. There's really not one single step like in my complexion routine that this cannot do, and I couldn't live without it. If all my brushes would disappear, this would be one of the first ones I would purchase. Now I think, looking at my collection, this is one of my most expensive brushes, if not the most expensive. But this is a brush that never shed not one hair, and I cannot say, you know, enough good about this. The amount of times I wash this and still it's just as soft as when I bought it. It keeps its shape even without me having to use like a brush guard when I wash it. It's just perfect. The last complexion product I'm going to talk about is the Blank Canvas F28 brush, which is a highlighter brush. As you can see, I really like this. It's really soft, and again, this never shed on me, and it's perfect for buffing the highlighter on the top of my cheekbones. If I don't use a fan brush, then this is the brush I'm reaching for. It really just depends on what kind of mood I am in. But this is perfect, and this is the first brush in this shape I think that I had. Oh no, I had one from Morphe, but I think I lost it somewhere. I don't know where that brush went. But that one was a bit bigger, and I didn't really get on well with that one, whereas this one is perfect. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's a highlighter brush. There's not that much you can, you know, say about that. Now I only use this on my cheeks. Obviously it's a bit too big to get under my eyes, but it's the same with the fan brush. I can only use it on my cheek. And I had this for about a year now. Again, never shed, keeps its shape. It's perfect. And I think you can get Blank Canvas Cosmetics in the UK on Beauty Bay. I'm pretty sure that that's where I got this from. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the eye brushes, and First, let's talk about blending brushes. I have 3 here that I really like. Let me just show you a close-up. Now, one of them is quite an exact dupe for the iconic MAC 217. Let me just show you the 2 next to each other. It's a little bit bigger. I'm still looking for an exact dupe. They are both dirty, excuse that. The one on this one is the Zoeva one. This one is the MAC one. And the Zoeva one is just a little bit bigger, which is not great when you have a small face like me with small eyes. But it works perfectly for a crease color still, or if I just want to diffuse something. This does a wonderful job. And I don't really have, in fact, this might be my only Zoeva brush, but I really like it. Again, I'm still looking for an exact dupe for this brush, but it's doing a really good job, especially for the price. You can't really beat it. Also, on the days when I just want the tiniest highlight, it's quite nice for the cheeks as well, or on the nose. It's doing a great job. Another one that I bought in the hopes that it's going to be an exact dupe for the MAC brush is the Sigma E25. And although it's not an exact dupe, let me show you again the 2 next to each other. The MAC one is just a bit more fluffy. It's not as flat. But this one is actually great for either packing color on the lid if you use a flat side, or if you use the end note, it's still fluffy enough to blend anything in the crease. And Sigma brushes are really good. I have a few. I also have their beauty blender, which I love so much. But again, it's not an exact dupe for the MAC one, but it's really good. So I would highly recommend this one if you're looking for something that can blend and pack eyeshadow at the same time. The last blending brush I have here is from Morphe. It's their M506, which is just a tiny blending brush, but because I have smaller eyes, this is perfect for like a precise color in the crease. I really like this, and actually I want to order more from this because I love this so much for deepening the crease, deepening the outer corner, even for applying highlighter in the inner corner. This is just the perfect size. And again, for the price, I don't think you can beat this. This is one of my most favorite brushes, just like the Becca one. If everything would, you know, disappear, this would be one of the first ones I would run out and get, because it's that good. The next brush will be a dupe for the MAC 239S, which is just this packing brush. It comes with a smaller handle and a bigger handle. It doesn't really matter, but it's just a flat packing brush. It's perfect for really well packing on a shadow on the lid. Shock and horror, I know, crazy. But a really similar brush to that is from Sigma. Again, let me put the 2 next to each other. They are really similar. The Sigma one is a bit wider, but they are about the same height. It's just a teeny bit wider. And this is the E55. Again, really good quality. It's really good when you just want to really pack a punch with a color, just to pack it on your lid. How many times did I say pack? Every time I say pack, take a shot, you will get drunk real quickly. So yeah, this one I think I got as a present from Sigma. Yes, I did. So when you are working in the makeup industry, or if you're a makeup artist student, maybe even other beauty professionals, I'm not too sure about that, but you can apply for a pro discount or a student discount with Sigma, which I did, and they were really kind. They sent me not only my orders with my first order, but they also sent me a little hello package, and they had like their brush mat in there, which I still use to clean my brushes. They also sent me this little brush for free, and I think a lip base product, which was insanely kind of them. I have pro discount with several brands and none of them did that. I mean, the fact that you have a discount is good enough, don't get me wrong. It saves you tons and tons of money. But it was just such a kind extra little gesture. It was just such a kind little gesture from Sigma to do that. It really made me smile, and still I hold them really dear to my heart. and yes, I thought that was just really insanely sweet. For eyebrows and liners, I have two favorites here. One of them is from Morphe. It's the M165, which is a bit of a longer angled brush. I really like this, either for quickly filling in my brows or if you just want a really smudged liner, because otherwise I find it's a bit too big. But it's really firm, and I washed it many times. It's still staying the same. It still stayed just as firm as it was in the beginning. That's why I find it perfect for even for the brows on the days when I have to run out quickly. Just put some shadow on it, quickly fill it in, and I'm good to go. So for that one, this is perfect. If I want to be a bit more precise, either with my brows or with the liner, I can reach for the Essence Precise Eyeliner Brush. And again, it's really firmly packed, and because it's really synthetic, it's perfect for cream products. It washes really easily, and I had this at least for a year now, if not longer. It works perfectly well. I really like this, and it was about £1 or £2, I want to say. In the UK you can get Essence in Wilko. I'm not sure you can get it anywhere else, but if you're in Wilko, go in, or you can even look at it online. I mean, I don't know about their other brushes. I don't think I ever used it. Oh no, I had a couple of their eyeshadow brushes. They're actually quite decent. But I especially like brands like Essence, Catrice, like the cheaper brands for angled brushes. Because for the eyeshadow brushes, the synthetic, like this kind of synthetic bristle or geofiber bristle, doesn't quite work as well. Because they're quite plasticky, and sometimes they're a bit too harsh on my eyes. But for eyeliner or eyebrows, you want them to be a bit more firm. So for that, it works perfectly well. And again, it's £1 or £2, so you can't really go wrong with that, even if you don't like it, can you? So highly recommended. I have two brushes left, again, one from Sigma, one from Morphe. Can you see a theme here? The Sigma one is the E47. It's a long bristle blending brush. I really like this, either for my inner corners, for my brow bone, or if I want a bit of highlight on my cupid's bow or on my nose. You can be really just, again, precise with it, because it's such a small brush. It's perfect for any details. And even if you want to blend out an eyeliner, this could be perfect for that. It's really bendy because it has really long bristles, and it's perfect. Yep, that's what I like to use it for the inner corner and the brow bone. And the last brush I have to show you is from Morphe, and this is the B16. It's just the tiniest blending brush, but it's not exactly like a pencil brush. It's slightly different, the shape of it. It's more flat, but still really soft and fluffy at the same time. Perfect for blending out a shadow on the lower lash line. Again, you can use it for highlighter, but I really like this for the lower lash line if I want to get really close to the lashes, just because it's so small that I can really blend it just where I want the color to be without it getting too low. And I haven't found a brush yet that does that job better than this one does. These were all my favorite brushes. I would say if you're on a budget, definitely Real Techniques and Morphe will be your best options. They're really good. If it's a complexion brush, I would say Real Techniques. If it's for the eyes, I would say Morphe or even Zoeva. When it comes to Sigma, they ship over to the UK, and on certain times of the year you can even get free shipment, which is really good. I'm sure there are loads of Sigma affiliates out there as well, so you can get a discount code with them. Obviously they are a bit more pricey, but they are really good. So if you have a bit of a bigger budget for brushes, I would say try out Sigma. I would say if you have the budget, just spend a bit more on brushes, because over time they will sort of pay for themselves. Because, you know, you can buy 5 cheap brushes, but you can maybe only use them for half a year, and then you will have to keep buying them again and again. Whereas if you invest in your brushes and you keep looking after them, then they will actually pay for themselves over the years. And, you know, invest in good brushes because you can have the best makeup out there, but if you don't have the right tools to apply them, they will just never perform as good as they could, and you'll always wonder why. Well, that's why you need good brushes. But again, you can always get good brushes at an affordable price as well. Let it be Morphe, Zoeva, Real Techniques. Those brushes will always be there for you, and they are a great value as well. Alright guys, that's gonna be my video today. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these brushes. Do you use any of them, or what are your favorites? I always like finding new brushes to add to my collection, although God knows I don't need more. I'm just looking over there and I have 3 giant pots full of brushes plus a mug, so God knows I don't really need more, but you know, I like finding new ones. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this video up now. Please give it a like if you enjoyed this, and also hopefully you're gonna subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more beauty content for you to watch, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.